And we live for another episode of Bet on Yourself. Tonight we are talking about Usyk. What's good with it, Jamel?
What's good, bro? Everything's good, man.
Yes, sir. Usyk Fury 2 was a match made in hell for the man that came in 280. That's all I'm
Nah,
gonna say.
I ain't. I ain't think it was a match made in hell, but I just think that Usyk was just a better. He's just a better guy.
He was a better guy tonight,
He's
man.
just a better man. I mean,
Yeah. How did you see it? How did you see the fight? Let's go kind of round by round.
I mean, it was close. It was close and it was close, and for me, it was close to the championship rounds. But I just felt that I felt that Usyk was just he just had the better tank. Like you mentioned before we got on live stream, you said that 280 plus didn't work in Fury's favor, but I thought he did better than the first fight. But at the end of the day, it's the same result. It was the same
Me
result
too. Me
on
too.
paper.
And I was just joking about match made in hell. I trying to be on my Stephen A. tip. But I do feel like he did better. He didn't do a whole lot of showboating, and that's what I wondered. What
Yeah, no,
Fury
he ain't
was
do a
going
lot
to
of
show up.
showboating. He ain't do a
Yeah,
lot
he
of
did
showboating.
showboat.
He ain't do all that showboating, thank God. But and like I say, he took it. He seemed like he was more serious. I mean, he had his moments. I like when he's going out to the body. He was he was sneaking in there that sneaky quick twitch on right hand down the middle a couple times, but just that Usyk just he just a different machine, a different monster in there.
Yeah, I mean it's especially when you going against a guy that's boxing. I see what Sugar Hill was thinking. It's like, okay, we gonna come in here 280 and we finna knock this guy out. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it.
I mean, I think if he was going to do it, he probably should have tried. He probably had his moments earlier within the fight because again, once Usyk picked up the second win, it was and then the weight you just started to see the weight was kind of like slowing Fury down a bit. So if he was going to do it, it had to been in the early part of that fight or the mid into to the mid, but down the stretch, Usyk definitely picked it up. I honestly thought at one point in time that Usyk was getting worn down because of the weight, because he looked a little slow in those middle rounds. But when he started picking it up, letting his hands go more, you see, and he had enough steam and pop to keep Fury off him and respected what he was doing in there. So he definitely showed championship caliber levels in there.
Yeah, and I think also on the inside, what I noticed is it looked like Fury was trying to put that weight on him, and you could see at times Usyk was giving him some shoulders. He was giving him some he was like, "Nah, bro,
Get
it
his
ain't
big
finna
ass
go
off
how you
you.
do it." Like, bro, you gotta get off me, bro. So I love that about Usyk game tonight. I love that he was locked in on not getting bullied. And then I mean at times he was becoming the bully. I mean he had Tyson on the
Nah, he
back
was pushing. Yeah, he had Tyson on the back foot. He had him on the
yeah.
back foot. A few times, especially like I said down the stretch, he definitely had him backing up. Again, he respected Fury. I mean, he respected Usyk's power, his speed. I think the speed definitely was throwing Tyson Fury up because he was throwing punches from all angles. Around the guard, down to the body, coming back up top. So yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot in the arsenal that Usyk had. But again, I thought Tyson Fury did a better job than he did the first fight. But again, Usyk is just a better man.
Yeah, I think tonight, Usyk showed why he is undefeated. And now my next question is who can beat this guy?
Going to have to be somebody who just as quick, durable, but also can take carry a punch. Because we've seen Usyk can be hurt. We've seen him bother our punches in the past. I think even the fight with Daniel Dubois, that body shot, even though they called it low, I think that body shot bothered him, and I think that's also what Tyson Fury was going for in this fight when he was going down to the body because when he hit him to the body, he did back him off, and Usyk
Sure.
acknowledged it, but. I
That's true.
think you got to be a all together well developed fighter to give Alexander Usyk any issues.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be somebody. And I was just texting Jamie for y'all that don't know Jamie Belt, and Jamie was saying, and it surprised me. He said, "What about Jared Anderson?"
Jared Anderson's not bad, but Jared, at the last fight, he gotta get back in the win column for starters, and also you got to see where he's at mentally, because it's different in those higher weight class at the heavyweight division. So a knockout, can definitely it can deter you from from being your old self, or you can take it as a lesson and learn from it. Because even like I said, Daniel Dubois, he came back. He had setbacks. He came back, and now he's a champion. He's a champion of the world. So it's possible, but again, it's not gonna be an easy task.
Yeah, and I mean, like the expert genius says, Jared's not mentally ready. I feel like if he can show that he makes a comeback fight and he has a tune up and he can show that he's willing to work on the things that he did poorly in the last fight and he can
Right.
come back. I definitely think he got the footwork, man. I think it's just like our guy was just saying, it's about the mental. And then as far as Dubois, I don't know if Dubois got it. I think Dubois want the payday, if I'm gonna just be real. I think
No, I
Dubois
think.
I think Dubois hopped in there.
You gotta look at
Dubois wants that
they
money.
making money. They're gonna make good money as the heavyweights. You
Yeah.
see what both Usyk and Tyson made. It's gonna be up there. But again, I like I said, I was always told the more you win, anyway, the money's always going to be there. Especially he's already a heavyweight. He's already a champion. He has a title, and he's in a great division where the money is crazy as a heavyweight. So the money's going to be there, especially if you over there, rubbing shoulders with Turkey and them out over there. So you're going to get paid. But I think again, becoming undisputed was going to definitely will take Daniel to a different level, and of course, his finances will be well taken care of. So the money's going to be there.
So do you have right now? Do you think a guy like a Martin Bacoli can get in there and do anything with Usyk?
He
Or
can, he can, but you got to
yeah,
catch him like that. They said, like they was telling Tyson, that they said the commentary said about Tyson Fury, he's going to need that George Foreman moment, meaning
right,
he's going to have to catch him with something to put him down because Usyk still has the footwork is a big attribute in his arsenal, especially with a guy
right,
like that. With a guy at that size, he
right,
basically going to literally box circles around him. So he's going to have to basically catch him, cut him off, and basically hit him with something that's going to put him down or keep him down. So. And again, it's a heavyweight division. Anything's possible in the heavyweight division.
right,
It literally takes one punch.
right. Yeah, man. I feel like in the heavyweight rankings, I just don't know if there's anybody that has the footwork. I mean, like I'm looking right now. Like I mean, you got a Joseph Parker, you
I
got
mean,
Andy.
they can bring back Klitschko for a whole
Right,
Ukrainian showdown.
right. I mean, Klitschko looked young, man. When he was sitting by who was he sitting by?
He's sent by
Uh,
Lennox. He's
Yeah, he's
sent
sitting
by
by Leonard
Lennox.
Stewart. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked good. I mean, even like a, and I hope I'm saying his name right, ZL Zhang. I mean,
Oh,
you
Zhang,
know,
I don't. That's the thing. Like, yeah, like for the most part, Usyk is not a big heavyweight. He's not a big heavyweight. He's probably not considered a natural heavyweight, but he puts on the weight. He carries the weight well. And again, I think for him, for the most part, it's that amateur pedigree that's really his biggest and best tool. Meaning
yeah,
that he knows where he's at in the ring. You really even like you mentioned earlier when Fury was trying to put the weight on him. He shakes the weight off. He shakes him off. He does little tricks. Give him a little shoulder bump. He'll pivot around the lead foot. Him being a southpaw, he'll pivot around the lead foot of a conventional fighter. And again, he'll sneak in when he's actually turning. He'll actually try to sneak in that left hand down the middle, and you've seen the left hand has stunned even guys like Tyson Fury. And Tyson
right,
Fury is taking punches. He's been put down by Deontay Wilder, but again, Tyson Fury has a good chin, and even then, Usyk has showed that he can hurt you and you know have you respect his power.
that's real. Yeah, I mean, it's just from a guy that was, if I ain't mistaken, in the amateurs. Didn't he fight
For
Sean?
Sean Porter. He fought everybody. He fought
That's insane.
He fought Arthur Beterbiev. He fought, so he had. That's what I mean. He has a pedigree, and a lot of guys on his amateur background. Most of those guys became world champions today. So he definitely has a pedigree. I mean, again, whether it's amateur or pro, boxing is boxing in terms of what you learn in the gym in terms of fundamentals. So
Right,
he
that's
definitely
facts.
has he definitely has a full body of knowledge and experience to carry, and he's an Olympic gold medalist. So it's
That's
gonna be
facts.
hard for anybody to get that man to beat that man. That's why I say you gotta have a full package. or you better hope that age, slows him down because he's in his late 30s. But other than that, I can't really pick a certain guy right now that's going to beat him.
Yeah, it's tough. And I mean, does he go back down and start collecting belts at this
Hell
point?
no, for
Like,
what? For what? For what? He's already did that. He's already became the. I
right.
mean, he became the cruiserweight undisputed world champion. Why would we not? I don't think he's gonna do that bridgerweight match, that whatever weight class they got in between cruiserweight and heavyweight. There's no point. There's no reason to. Reign supreme as
Right.
I think reigning supreme as the lineal heavyweight world champion is probably the biggest token in boxing either way. So why move backwards? It's
That's
not his
fair.
fault. It ain't his
Right.
fault.
So he so
Everybody needs
just
to step it up. It ain't his fault.
right. That's very true. Well, we got 410 in the house. This is the most we've had in the house. We appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. And
Remember, keep
man,
watching.
drop some comments, join the panel, let us know what y'all think. This was one that was, I think people didn't expect it to go how it went. I thought me personally, I thought we was gonna get a knockout either way. I thought if
I
it
thought
did go, I thought if it did go to a decision, it was gonna go to Fury just because of
no,
turf.
yeah. I was thinking,
You know what I mean?
like when I seen the whole size. Let's be real, it's heavyweight. They call it heavyweights for a reason. So when I seen the whole
Right,
size of the difference, and then I was looking this because Fury, just for being almost basically 300 tonight, he was still moving really well for to be that heavy, on
right.
his feet. He was boxing, he looked good when he was boxing. So I thought that, the weight and everything was going to play to the advantage. But again, Usyk picked it up. Basically just like Lomachenko, as I said, he downloaded what was in front of him and went from there. And he did a hell of a job. So, I mean, shout out to both of them. I thought it was a good fight. Like when me and you was texting each other, it was like, yo, these boys are here, they fighting tonight.
It's fighting
It was
tonight.
a, it was a good chess match. I can't argue with it. Like again, but I thought going in, after seeing everything after the weigh-in, I thought Tyson Fury would get the nod tonight, and it would go to a trilogy. Of course,
Right.
because
That's what I was
it's good for business, of course. But no, I think there was a clear during those championship rounds. There was a clear cut winner, and I thought Usyk definitely pulled away in those last 2-3 rounds.
Yeah, I think like the announcer was saying, once it hit round 9, it hit those championship rounds, it was like, okay, he started picking it up, and there was no
Right.
way unless Tyson got that George Foreman punch or something like that it was gonna go either, any other way. So
But
how do
it's
you
hard. But it's hard to get that George Foreman punch when you're steadily on the back foot. You know what I
back
mean?
foot?
Like Usyk had him on the back foot a lot in those last few rounds, where Tyson was trying to basically catch him maybe with a sneaky uppercut or something big, but Usyk wasn't falling for it. So it's definitely hard to do, have a George Foreman performance, because George Foreman he was pushing forward in his career. George was coming with that heat, and George Foreman would walk through a barrage of punches. I mean, just look at the fight between him and Holyfield alone. He'll go through a barrage of punches just to get that one punch off, but that's not the Fury style, and it's not a bad thing, but it's just not his style.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the sportsmanship at the end with him not, doing an interview or talking to anybody? Like, I
I
mean,
mean, he hurt.
yeah, he
He gave me showed him love after the final bell, whatever. When Usyk, went down in the middle of the ring to give his praise, he gave him love there. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's pride. You got to think about it. Tyson Fury was dominating the division for a long time. Long before. I mean, when he retired, came back, dominated some more. He did the impossible. He beat Deontay Wilder twice. So of course, I think it's more of his pride being hurt that and plus you got to think about all the buildup and like what he was saying, and that even from the first fight he didn't think Usyk was nothing spectacular. Second fight he said that he was more serious and that it was going to be different, and they had the mindset of going in there and knocking Usyk out. So when all that didn't go according to plan, he was probably hurt. So he was
yeah,
I bet I'm out. I'm gonna go get my check in the back real quick and get up out of here. I ain't
right.
seen my wife in about 3
I
months anyway,
ain't seen
so
my wife in 3, and
yeah,
that's what you do is
I
like,
ain't see wifey in about 3 months. So let me just go see what she up to. Because let me go release some stress.
right, and it's like if you do all that, you don't see your kids, you don't see your wife for 3 months. That can take a toll on you if it don't go your way, if it don't go the way that you want it to. So I
And
do.
we
I
all
wish.
go through
I
it.
wish him
He
the
ain't the
best,
only.
man. I
Yeah, we
wish.
all go through it. We
So
all go through it.
what's next for Fury? What do you think next is
I
next for
don't
Fury?
think, oh man, I don't think it's the end because it's not like a thing where he like he's falling off and he's showing it. Like, nah, it
Right,
just Usyk was just better. There's still big fights out there for him. I mean, you can still do an all UK showdown with Anthony Joshua. Still, like they both have a common opponent now. They both fought Usyk twice. They
right,
both lost to Usyk twice. So
right,
there's still, I mean, and in the UK, they're gonna definitely bring in money.
right.
So I still wouldn't mind. I mean, we couldn't get. I'm upset we could never get Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, but I still would settle for Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury matchup in the UK or
That
wherever
was
it lands at
that
in the
would
Middle East, whatever. But like I
that
said, the
would
UK is going to support their own. They're definitely going to support. If that fight was be put in the works or even talked about, I guarantee people would definitely tune in and be like, "Yo, I want to see that fight."
that's very true. I mean, now a guy that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Ajit Cabell, Kabayel, 25
I
and
don't
0,
know. I don't
25
know.
and 0.
I gotta
So
look
this,
that up.
so I mean, this guy it looks like he's 25 and 0, German professional boxer.
Somebody help me out. I gotta look that one up.
Twice. So maybe this is the guy. Maybe the guy that nobody knows. Maybe this
I
is the
mean,
guy
there's
that
always sleepers. I mean, look at my man, like we just talking about who just beat Tim Zoo, who knocked out Tim Zoo. He was a sleeper, and he was putting dudes to sleep. He put my man to bed. So I mean, there's always sleepers in boxing. I mean, even the dude Bud's last opponent was just considered a sleeper, but he was a good fighter. So
yeah, yeah.
again, I mean, there's a lot that can go down with the division. There's a lot that can go down around the division. Still a lot of good fights. I thought it's been a good year for boxing in 2024. Of course,
Facts.
we always don't get all the matches we want, but nonetheless, it wasn't a bad year for boxing.
No, not at all. And I mean, I think where we are in the boxing world, I love the fact that you got somebody like a Turkey because I feel like he has ramped up the speed of us seeing some of these big fights. I feel like we would have seen half the fights this year without Turkey
Money
being
talks. Money talks.
bullshit.
Money
Bullshit.
talks. But yeah, definitely money talks. I mean, you throwing money out there. Fighters can't complain. More importantly, fighters can't really have no excuse why they can't take these fights. But even though you still see some fighters making excuses. I mean, wow, which direction they want to go when he's trying to offer fights and this and that much in the third. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It still was a good year. That's how the sport is. I'm looking forward to what's coming in the new year.
Yo,
And like again, I'm excited. You and I have been doing a lot of good things with the platform.
right.
We got David Benavidez coming on. We spoke even about
Yeah.
Teofimo coming on Monday or so. To speak with him about everything that's been going on with him. And
Gotta
please,
talk.
y'all don't worry out there. Please know how y'all been acting. Why you listen? We believe in giving everybody a fair shake on the platform. But we
Facts.
will discuss everything and
Everything that's going
anything
on.
that
Don't worry.
yeah.
This is
I
this
know
is a
he's gonna definitely
this is
he's
a
definitely
this
gonna
is
bring
a
it.
black owned platform and we gonna talk about it. So
That's what
don't
I'm saying.
worry.
So yeah, now I just like I said, I just want to talk to the man. Like, yo, I just want to see what's going on. Like, I mean, like I said, me
It's,
and Tio, we always been cool, but again, there's some things that, of course, that rub people wrong. But as men, I just want to talk to my man one on one. Well, whatever.
yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people forget. And let me answer this question: how often are we live? We want to be
We
live
just we
like and we said Sundays and Wednesdays, but I mean, y'all see it's 500 people in the house right now. We want to give y'all the hottest take as soon as it's out, so y'all can expect us after every big fight, and you can expect us at least on Sundays and Wednesdays at 6.
yeah. I think the minimum at least the minimum is twice a week. But again, if we get somebody that again. We reach out to somebody and they be like, hey, champ, I want to let's kick it on the podcast. We'll throw whatever a day, a
Yeah,
day in the week. But we'll make that announcement to everyone else out there. You know what I'm saying? We won't just randomly, we'll be like, okay, we're going, like I just said, we got David coming on tomorrow. Teos is possibly still coming on Monday. Hell, I was even thinking about my man Brian Newman, maybe a Tuesday or something, because like I said, everything's been going on just in the past few days.
thanks.
So I like to speak about it while it's still hot. You know what I mean? And again, I spoke to my guy Shakur. That's coming down later. So we definitely got a schedule.
Y'all want the fighters, we bringing them to y'all. And y'all can talk to them yourself. Y'all
My
can
man,
click
yeah. My man, Shoe coming on. Yeah. Like we have
whoever
SM, we
you
have
want to
open
talk to.
platform.
We got
We have
some
open
people that's
platform.
coming. And for 2025, we want to be at these fights as well. We want to give y'all exclusive content. We want to give y'all behind the scenes content, and we want to give y'all quality content too. So y'all can expect a whole lot from us coming in 2025. We want to be your platform of choice when it comes to boxing. I mean, it's not every day y'all get to talk to
Non-biased platform. I mean, we're all human. But like I said, I don't have no issues with anybody coming on. I don't have issues with people, Twitter, social media tuning in as well to share their thoughts and opinions. Like I said, we're just talking boxing. We can agree to disagree on things as well. But you know, so long as we keep it kosher and everybody's cool, we don't mind who comes on. We don't mind.
That's facts. And this is a community, man. We want y'all to join. We want to hear y'all's opinion. We want to hear how y'all felt about the fight tonight. So I'm dropping a link here. Y'all can click the link. Y'all can let us know, how y'all felt about the fight. And it's just right here at this link, the StreamYard link. Click it and jump in, man. Let us know how y'all felt about it. Because the cool thing about boxing is everybody has their own perspective. Yeah. Everybody can see it different ways.
Real talk, yes, yeah. Because I learned a lot just from talking with you guys, mainly on Twitter. That's why I love using my Twitter platform, because I'm like, okay, you guys know I ask y'all questions. I respect y'all opinions. We'll go back and forth, but for the most part, it never gets ugly, and I respect that with y'all. So that's why we give y'all open space even on here. Like, yo, if you want to jump on real quick to speak your mind, I have no issue with that. We have no issue with that.
That's facts. But let's jump to, the guy that we having on tomorrow, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. He will be on 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And we're going to talk to him.
Oh, yeah, they're looking forward to that.
About the fight that's coming up tomorrow.
I'm going to ask him, like, how he feel about having that belt thrown at him. Like, yo, how you feel through the belt at you, bro?
Right, WWE style.
You threw the whole belt at that. Yeah. That's got to be real animosity for you to throw your championship title at anybody. I don't care what you say.
Now let me ask you a question, bro. Do you feel like, and I know we talked about it with Franchon, do you feel like it was disrespectful for bro not to shake his hand, or is it just like, bro, we finna get ready to fight in a couple of days?
Nah, I think it's one of those things where they had issues. They had issues before that even went down. Like, I think the first time they even came across each other, there was issues. What was it? The photo shoot, there was issues. So of course, I get it. Like, sometimes you just be like, man, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't really, he probably didn't want to really be there because he really don't want nothing to do with David as it is. Right. So, but I respect David for coming at him like, yo, okay, whatever. But again, I can understand why Morrell was like, nah, I don't want to shake your hand. So David was, all right, cool, bet. It is what it is.
It's that.
It is what it is. Right? He shoved him. Okay. It wasn't. Listen, it wasn't for play. So they just got to handle business. They got to just handle business.
Yeah. Now, can the money ever get messed up if something like, let's say, because I've seen when Benavidez's brother his name Jose Benavidez, right?
Yeah, Jose.
He was finna fight Bud, and Bud took a swing at him. If somebody takes a swing,
Bud, if you look at it, man, Bud pulled back on that. Like he
pulled back. My question is, what if he would have connected? Like, how does that work? Like, what's the
you connect? You might just get a fine. You better hopefully you don't injure him, because if you injure him, then of course you gotta push the fight back. The fight might get canceled altogether. So of course, yeah, that's why most you're gonna see is a shoving contest. You're not gonna really see too many. I mean, this ain't the '90s anymore. This ain't Riddick Bowe at the press conferences anymore. Saying it's just teeing off on everybody. So you're not gonna really see that. And plus, again, they're going to try to hit you some crazy fine. They might hit you with something, depending how bad it is. They might hit you with suspension. But again, nobody wants to mess up the money. So they're not going to. Like I said, go watch that again. Bud pulled that punch back because Bud had caught him. Yeah, it probably been a different story.
Night. Yeah, it would have ended the night earlier because it ended the next night.
He pulled the punches. He pulled it back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. So with everything that's coming in 2025, what are some of the most exciting fights that you ready to see in the new year?
Honestly, I want to see what Booster is going to do since he's not going to 154. For those guys, he said he wants. I think they said it recently. He wants to unify at 147, which I can respect because it seems like we're in an era where everybody wants to unify or
Yeah.
become undisputed. So I can respect that. I seen my man Brian Newman, as you and I both spoke to him as of yesterday. He's definitely interested now in unifying because he was going through it also when they thought that he was ducking Boots to begin with and
Right.
yada yada yada. So
Right.
it's good to see that everybody got a pep in their set, but I'd rather see them, do all that talking at the negotiation table and
Right.
make the fights happen. But I definitely want to see what Boots is gonna do. I gotta see my man Rich, Rich Hitchens is gonna do since he's a
Yeah.
newly crowned champion. That division is loaded.
That division is
Um,
loaded. That
yeah, you got
division is loaded.
Teofimo there, you got Rayo,
Right.
and so forth. So that is loaded up there. You got Keyshawn Davis coming back February 14th.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Like it's on Valentine's Day, February 14th is Valentine's Day. I think it's gonna probably be a Saint Valentine's Day massacre in favor of Keyshawn Davis, in my opinion. Which
It's gonna
makes
get ugly.
what makes it great though for to see what he does with that title. Because again, you got him there, you got Shakur there, you got Tank, and that's nothing. Tank Lamont Roach. Depending how you look at it, I think that it's good for boxing because Lamont is in a win-win situation either way. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, we want to see. I know everybody wants to see Tank in the bigger fights or whatever, but there's a lot, yeah, and that's just early, and that right there just early in the new year coming up. I mean, when you think
Yeah.
about it, bro. So there's a lot
Right.
that there's a lot you can dissect from that.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you brought up Boots. Something that I'm confused about is that I mean, the Brian Norman fight was on the table. Then you go to Virgil.
That wasn't
Virgil.
him. That wasn't, but it was
Okay,
respectfully, and I got
you got
love
to
for
correct
both.
me. Get
I
me
got
right.
I,
Get
I
me
got
right.
love for both Brian and Boots. Respectfully though, that wasn't on. I can say that wasn't on Boots' end because when you look back on the interviews, Brian's team was just talking about how they was breaking down the money and how they just didn't the money just didn't the bag didn't seem right to them in their favor. Like I said, everybody has their own price. So I can't really speak on that. Everybody has their own price, but in terms of that, I can't put that on Boots. But like I said, I'm glad that Brian is coming back around to be like, yo, ain't nobody ducking nobody. Let's make it happen if we can make it happen.
Yeah,
That's what I
and I
mean.
mean,
But I'm saying so.
that's
And
the
Boots,
fight that I would like to see
yeah,
because I
and I
feel like
think they
that's
need
gonna
that
bring the
fight.
best
They
out.
both need that fight because, like I said, they both need that fight because again, I feel as if with Brian's with him being out the ring and missing the opportunity, he got a lot of backlash. With
Yeah,
Boots not going to 154 to fight Virgil, whoever, he got a lot of backlash. So I think they both need that fight and to make something happen. Or I don't. Again, you got Mario Barrios there too, but again, those two definitely need to basically get that clash out the way and go from
yeah,
there.
yeah. We need to see that fight, man. We need to see the best fight, the best. Now, another guy that's on the table for Boots is Teofimo Lopez. Do you see that fight? Like, let's say that fight happens. How do you see that fight going? Is that a
That's
50-50 fight?
interesting.
How
That's
does that
interesting
fight go?
because that's an interesting fight. I definitely came with to speak to you on that one for sure. But it's interesting because I know people they always look at your last performance and everything with boxing for the most
Yeah,
part. And I know people looking at Boots. They trying to question his defense. T.O. I feel like T.O. could be hot or cold depending who he's in it with. Like I said it before, and like I know fighters will agree with me on this. When like sometimes fighters fight at certain fighters levels. So
yeah,
like for instance, when he fought against a guy like Lomachenko, he fought at one of his best, at that time, at the highest level he can possibly fight to get that win over Lomachenko, which was a
yeah.
good fight. When he
Right.
fought even with Josh Taylor, Josh Taylor was still hot. Josh Taylor he was the man of the division, the lineal champion as well. But
Thanks.
Teofimo put on a hell of a performance against Josh Taylor and took that crown and became the lineal champion. So again, I think when a guy like Boots, he knows he needs to step up to a higher level. And I think Boots also on his end, he wants to prove that he's great as they say he is. So of course he's going to want to give one of his best performances, and that we probably haven't seen yet. So I think it's a good matchup for both men.
Now, do you feel like if the TO that shows up versus Josh Taylor, can Boots defensively stop that? Because I ain't gonna lie, like The TO that I seen when I seen him live in person, I think he was fighting. I think he was fighting a Spanish guy in New York. Jared Anderson was on that card, and he didn't look that great. But then you see another
Right.
TO show up versus Josh Taylor, and he's a
And that's
monster.
right afterwards. And that was right afterwards.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless,
Like,
unless somebody when he fought Jermaine Ortiz, when he got a lot of let's talk about him or before before the
but
Josh fight.
before that, it would have been
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
know
would
you
have been
fought Jermaine
20,
Ortiz
21. It would
afterwards.
have been 21.
Okay, yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. But like that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
it's like
right,
this with him at times. Like 1 minute he
right.
can have a subpar, a performance. The next minute, he's out there looking spectacular. He's slipping, he's flashy, he's quick, and he's strong. So again, I don't like I said,
Yeah,
I feel like T.O.'s one of those guys, depending on who he's in there with, for him to really get up there and like get the best out of him, that's what we'll get. So like I say, I think he needs to continue fighting the best available challenges out there to bring the best out of him. That's just who he is, in my opinion.
yeah. Now, what I will say is that I want to see somebody like TO grow into a man in this sport, because in this sport you have seen that it's become a lot about the antics and the jumping in the ring, and
Right,
it really don't have to be like, you don't have to say nothing crazy to be great. A guy that I love and that we both know is Terrence Crawford. You don't see him talk crazy about people or do certain.
right.
The man goes to work. After he wins a fight, he's back at B&B the next day putting in work. Like, so anybody that's in this 600 that is a fighter or has aspirations to be a fighter, understand and know that, man, hard work pays off. All you got to do is work hard and want what you want, and it's gonna work. Like, you don't
I
got to
mean,
be
yeah,
the
I get
best.
it. Sometimes you gotta
Right.
sell it because
Yeah,
look at a guy like Rollies. Rollies will sell a hell
Rolly's
of a
trash.
fight. He goes,
Rolly trash, man.
but he sell the fight. But
He sell.
he sells the fight. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Because
Rolly
you just said
trash.
you just said that
Right,
the hard work and talent's gonna show, right? Right.
right,
Then
right,
you said that he basically he don't got the
right,
talent, but
right,
he got the mouthpiece. No homo, he got the mouthpiece. So
right, right.
he gonna say, he gonna basically say what he got to say out there to get to get the publicity and everything. But there's a degree of it though. Like you don't gotta
Yeah,
go too crazy and disrespect. Like we know,
yeah.
like on that age, but it's the showmanship. Like I mean, Muhammad Ali had both. He can
Facts,
he can fight his ass off, and he definitely knew how to sell a fight. So that's what
facts.
I
There,
mean.
there's
But
a there's a
you
clear
sometimes you
line
need both.
that's drawn in the sand, though. Like when you start to cross the racism line and being a bigot and different things like that, it's like, there's
Right.
one thing to say that the champ is here. There's one thing to have your poems ready and to talk your talk and to talk your shit. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But there's also some sportsmanship that's in there where there's a line in the sand that we know one shouldn't cross.
No, I respect it. No, I got of course. Because again, you get a lot of backlash. Sometimes people, it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing. For me, it was never my thing.
Yeah.
But again, one thing I learned when I went to Top Rank, I'll never forget this. Is like I always say, they told me two things. You can either learn, you can either know how to fight, or you can either know how to sell tickets. But if you know how to do both, oh,
Right.
that's an easy sell.
Right.
if you can fight, people are gonna tune in.
Right.
If you can put asses in seats and sell tickets, people
Right.
are gonna tune in. But if you can do both, oh, that's a grand slam right there. So I think
Yeah.
again you need both, but like I said, it's a certain level of
Yeah.
that showmanship that you need to put out there without getting too crazy and turning people away. Because again, like I said, I love my guy and everything, but like you from Brooklyn, you represent Brooklyn heavily in terms of boxing,
Right.
black base. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying right there. But like I said, we'll sit there and talk about it.
And we got to address that. We got to, and that's what we want to do, man. We want to be the OGs that can come in and say, hey, this is right, this is wrong, and not be biased to anybody or anything, and just make the platform be about being great. What does it mean to be great? What does it mean to be a champion? So, man, we appreciate all 600 that's in the house, man. Keep dropping comments. Keep letting us know what y'all think about this fight. And yeah, man, we appreciate all y'all that's in the house. Now, a guy that we are familiar with that will be getting back in the ring at 25, Terrence Crawford. It looks like he has a potential uh, match
Right.
that may be coming up in April. What is his name?
My man just fought Tim Zoo.
That fought Tim Zoo. He got a long name, and what I will say is Bud is known for fighting people with long names.
He said,
Um,
"Yo, why Bud keep fighting these dudes?" And he's be like, "Yo, that's all right now. Who's available right now, man? Like, I
I
think
dog,
Fedora
he
and
don't
Arrow. I
fight
think they about to
somebody
lock him
name
on.
you can't say for sure.
You gotta stay busy. Hey, nah. I mean, I'd rather have him stay busy than wait another year up anyway. Because again, we're all getting older. Bud's getting older. There's no need to be sitting on the ring for more than 10 months, honestly, because that ring rust when it builds up and it shows at times. So I hope he gets back in the ring in April. You know what I mean? Against whoever, but
Yeah,
I'd rather see that than him sitting out and waiting for like a guy like Canelo or one between Spence and Fedor or whoever up there.
yeah.
I think even Jamel Charlo's even talking about coming back. Since we haven't seen him since the Canelo fight, so
Wow.
the division, all these guys come back at the same time. That could be a really fun division as well.
Yeah. Now, I mean, now we did see Boxing Rail go out there, our guy from Philly go out there and work with Charlo. Do you feel like Charlo has enough in the tank where he can come and make a comeback and or do
I
you feel like, how do you feel about him coming back?
yeah. Before the Canelo fight, he wasn't. It wasn't like he was doing bad. He was undisputed. He was undisputed champion. He was still running. It was his division. So I think again, it's not. He just wasn't better than Canelo. That's not a bad thing. It's Canelo. But
Facts.
I don't like that he took such long of a layoff off because again, like I said, time waits for nobody. So I just got to see how he looks coming back. You even see his brother still had a slow pace in getting back to where he wants to be at or thinks he needs to be at. So I just don't like the long layups at times. But again, in terms of him fighting at 154, I don't see why not. Why he still can't perform well out there. But it's a different set of animals there now. So that's just what I'm saying we just got to see how he lines up against these dudes out there.
Now you have said ring rust a couple of times. And I mean, you being a fighter, is it timing? Is it conditioning? Like what all plays into
Nah,
the ring?
you could definitely have a great camp because again, like I said, we got Jay. Like even me working with Jamie Belt, like I can definitely get in shape. I can get in shape
Right.
now, but again, it's timing. Like you just pointed out,
Yeah.
it's timing. And if your timing is off, you may not react to certain react from getting out of the way of certain shots.
Right.
You may not react to getting hit by certain shots. Your body overall may not react the same way as it did when you were staying active. So that those things can definitely play a factor. So yeah, anybody like majority of the boxes that you see at that level, yeah, we get in shape or they get in shape as well. But it's just
Right.
that when you've been out so long, you got to find your rhythm. You got to find your groove. It probably takes you a little bit longer to warm up in there and
Yeah.
catch a second wind. So those are things that could play factors in terms of when you let ring rust build too long on your body.
Yeah. Now, what's the perfect amount of time? Is it 3 months being out? Like, do you be out 3 months and then you try to get a fight? I mean, we seeing a lot of these guys only getting one fight a year. Like, what's
I mean,
that
yeah,
magic?
that's
What's that
there.
magical amount?
Today's boxing world is different from when Oscar De La Hoya was fighting 5 times in '97. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
Oscar was just staying busy, but he wasn't. It was a different game then. Like for instance, like Oscar would maybe fight a pay-per-view fight here, but then he'll take like just a fight here to stay busy and put it on regular HBO. And then he knew it wasn't gonna get the same amount of money as he would get here, but he was just enjoying staying busy while
Right.
still collecting a check. A lot of times you see with these fighters, they don't want to get back in the ring unless they're getting this amount of money, or they don't want to get back in the ring unless it's on pay-per-view. Once they're on pay-per-view now, they think they gotta stay on pay-per-view for every single fight they have now. So it's a lot different now. So you will hope that after 4 months after they out the ring, you will hope that they would negotiate to try to get back in the ring. But
Yeah.
it's just different today.
Yeah, it's a different time. I mean, I would like to see guys at least fight twice a year just to make sure that you're healthy, just
I
to
mean,
make sure.
at one point in time, that was the norm, and even then, that was still like low. But now it's like you be lucky if your fighter get in the ring once, and it's like, and then on top of
Right,
that, okay, if he get in the ring once, it's like, okay, who the hell is he fighting? Is he
right.
fighting somebody we at least want to see, or is he going to just fight somebody that we know is not going to be worth even watching? And then it was like, damn, now we got to wait to 2026 for him to hopefully get in the ring. Like, nah, man, just stay busy, stay active. I feel like you're gonna get the more you stay active, the more money you put in your pocket through that year anyway. So I don't understand why they don't want to, stay active. But
And that's what I was about to ask you next. Like, what's the reasoning? Like, why do you feel like it don't happen? Like, why you
everybody
feel
just
like
picky,
these
man.
fights don't happen as much as
They
we
just
want them?
picky, man. They just picky. People get
Yeah,
picky, and I'm not knocking nobody. Y'all get y'all money, do your thing, handle your business. But again, for like boxing entertainment, fans want to be entertained. Do it for your fans. And I get it. Fans not taking punches and then I get that too. I mean, if you injured, that's a different thing. But but at the same time, it's like if you just stay there because you just want to stay out and be stubborn because you feel like you're not getting what you think you deserve or what you owe. That's a different topic. But again, I know personally how it is. At the grueling camps and grueling fights, that's a different story. But if you go out there, put somebody to bed so early and then you can have a quick turnaround, but that's still asking much for some of these guys.
yeah. And I mean, I feel like as long as, like you said, you're not injured and you going about it for the love, because at the end of the day, you're doing this because you love it. And if you don't love it, you shouldn't be doing it because now you can go out there and get hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Now
if,
I would say that don't ever have one foot. Don't have one foot in, one foot out. Don't ever do
yeah,
that because that's when if you like that and you just like, well, I'm just going in and just get this money. That's how you get hurt. That's how you
yeah,
that's how you get hurt. So if you're going to be in it both physically and mentally. Please be in it. You know what I'm saying, for those with those two in mind. But if you got one foot at the door, then I can understand. Like I think I don't know if it's true or not. They just said Lomachenko retired, and this is a guy coming off a championship win. But I could respect if he only had one foot in, one foot out. I can respect that. And the man, he's done enough, but he has enough a body of work to be put in Hall of Fame now anyway. So, but yeah, if he doesn't feel like he got that hunger anymore, stay out of it. Just stay out.
yeah. I mean, so how do you feel about Loma's career? Because I mean, he's a gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken,
2 time, yeah, yeah, two
two
time
time.
gold medal, yeah.
I mean, his career, he's fought some of the best. How do you feel about his career? Do you think he was able to kind of ride off how he wanted to? Because I mean, I know in football, the saying is the sport quits you before you quit it.
Right.
Do you think he was able to ride off how he wanted to?
If he leaves now, I think especially after his last win, becoming a world champion again, I definitely would say that he rode off in the sunset on his terms, Because you got to think, you got still got the young guys out here that's hungry and want that name on their resume. You got Shakur who's been calling for him. Even Tank this earlier this year was looking to fight him. So but he's getting older. You know what I mean? And these guys, they're still young and they're getting into their man strength and they're getting stronger. So
Yeah,
it's dangerous. It's like, again, and he's been in. He had a hard fight with To. He had a hard fight, no matter how you say who won or who lost. He had a grueling fight even with Devin Haney and so forth. So yeah, so I feel like if he decides, that's it for me, I ain't got nothing against that. Salute to that man.
now, what I'm seeing on Twitter is a lot of people saying Usyk is the best fighter in the world. Is that a
I
true
already know you're
statement?
gonna. I already know you're gonna have a disagreement with that. But I'm not mad at nobody because even your best fighter and the one that we all have in
Right,
mind, even
right,
says that he's one of the best
right,
fighters out there. So if Bud and everyone's get that man his flowers, I'm not mad at it. For me, honestly, I don't really care for who's number one
right,
and who's number two. I just go by listen. If they're great, they're great. I don't care if you put them at 1, 2, 3 or whatever. As
right.
long as you giving these fighters who are great their flowers, I really don't care.
Yeah,
But again, Usyk, and it's one of the things also, like I said earlier, the heavyweight division has always been the premier division in boxing. So of course, when you're doing great things as a heavyweight in the division against another top heavyweight, of course that's going to be where the people mainly going to say this is who I got. But for me, I got like I said, I can go down who my favorites today all day if I wanted to. But so I don't really care about who's number one, number two. But again, Usyk is one of the best fighters in the world.
So Triple X on a kill streak said Usyk or Ali.
Come on, Triple, man. You tripping right now, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. No
Stop it.
offense to nobody. Let that man
Stop
finish his career. Let that man finish his
Stop it.
career before we even start making those conversations. I mean,
Yeah, stop it.
it's different. It's different. It's different strokes for different folks. I mean,
Yeah.
Ali, you gotta look at the caliber of the champions though he was fighting. No, and like I said, I like Usyk, but let that man still continue building his legacy before. But I think he only got like 27 fights at that.
Right.
So let that man continue building his legacy. But he did a hell of a job at cruiserweight, so you can't acknowledge that either. But like I said, again, in terms of the names and everything like that, let that man continue building his resume before we start even making these crazy arguments. I mean, I'm still hearing arguments about who's better between Ali and Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? So
Right. Now, and I mean, Usyk only has 23 fights. So for him to do all the stuff that he's done in 20,
and that's incredible.
That's
amazing.
incredible.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
But like I said, let him continue finishing his body of work before we start having those what did Dubai say? Man, was disrespectful? But like I said, before Usyk stop making like it's not that he's saying that he's the greatest of all time, but before we as fans, including myself, because I'm a fan first of boxing, before we have those type of conversations, let that man continue building his legacy. We'll talk about that another 5-10 years from now or so.
Yeah, that's facts. And then I got Supreme says now's the best time for Fury Klitschko rematch. Klitschko may be old, but he is a boxer. I think
no, bro. Like I don't know.
That's gonna be Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, bro. You got to let that man retire.
You gotta understand though. When was the last time Fury? What was his last fight? Was it Anthony Joshua? Was it the last time he fought?
Yeah.
This is when Anthony Joshua was on top. Like you know what I'm saying. Right. So like. Again, I don't like to keep saying it to y'all, but that ring rust, and then on top of that ring rust, that age is definitely gonna play a effect. You gotta okay, if you want to see that fight, whatever, you gotta basically give Klitschko that tune-up fight, see how he looks, and then you go from there. But other than that, I'm not really interested. Like I said, I grew up enjoying Vladimir Klitschko because especially when he had Emmanuel Stewart in his corner. I love watching Vladimir because he was a pure boxer and technician with Emmanuel Stewart, and he was trying to put you out. But how long ago? Like, come on, man.
He said he's not ready to go beat up another MMA fighter. He might.
Look, so be it.
In the world that we in, man, you might as well go get your money. Go get your money, man. It ain't nothing wrong with getting your money.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna, that's one thing. Like I can see Klitschko doing something like that. Let them go in there and get some money. But again, boxing is tough, man. It's tough on the body. For starters, you got to remember that training camp. That training camp gonna be grueling. So yeah.
What I will say is that this is a sport that it seems to be the older you get, the more time it is to say, all right, when am I going to get out of this? Because you want to lead this thing with all your marbles and all your money. You don't want to. You don't want it to.
I'm trying to talk to y'all clearly. And I know I can talk fast, but I'm still trying to talk to y'all clearly where y'all can understand what the hell I'm saying without slurring my words and things of that nature. So yeah, definitely, you gotta think about everything when it comes to that. Like I said, I understand. Like even myself, fighters, we love to fight. We enjoy. We enjoy the crowd. We enjoy y'all input. We enjoy a good challenge. But again, sometimes you gotta listen to your body and. Father Time waits for nobody. Father Time's undefeated.
And that's what somebody said earlier. We say, who's going to be able to beat Usyk? And somebody said, Father, look, this greatest boxer page of all time. Nobody, Father Time. So it's like that's something that's consistent across the board, man. So anything else you want to touch on tonight, bro?
I think we pretty much everything that we wanted to speak on. Like I said, tomorrow night we're gonna have David Benavidez on, so I'm happy about that. Shout out to my man David. He's been real cool and cordial. Like he's been patient. He wanted to get on with us Wednesday. Like so, he's definitely hyped about getting on with us. So I'm happy about that. But then, like I said, I'm gonna hit up Tio, see if he still want to come on Monday because I know y'all gonna have questions for him. So I already know it. But don't come attacking the messenger. You know what I mean? Y'all.
Right. Well, man, we appreciate all 663 of y'all for being in here tonight. Like we said, David Benavidez will be joining us tomorrow night. So if you want to ask the champ some questions, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the account and make sure you follow Bet on Yourself podcast on YouTube and follow both of our accounts on Twitter, aka X. And like I said, if you want to be able to join and ask questions, you want to be able to join the panel and talk to the man yourself, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that's the only way you're going to be able to join. We appreciate y'all and have a great night.
Appreciate y'all.